feeling the energy flow down your legs and through the soles of your feet. Continue to breathe here. Maybe you want to go a little bit deeper. You can bring your nose to your knees. You can bend your knees and just grab the sides of your feet and try to lengthen through the spine here. Once again, this is not about rounding the spine. And then maybe with each breath, you try to straighten your legs just a little bit. That is breathe 3 breaths and forward fold. On the next breath, with your eyes on your belly, begin to round the spine. Now here it's okay to round it because we're stacking the spine. We're articulating the spine, stacking one vertebra on top of the other, one at a time, lifting the chin last. So we work with our own spine. That's very, very important. Let's go in and pull that left knee in. Use that left knee to get even taller as we go into spinal rotation. We're going to use our opposite arm, our right arm, to wrap it around that knee to get even taller. And then take your left hand around to the back of your mat. Lift your heart, lift your gaze, and breathe so deep on that inhale that you feel your lung and your rib cage and your thoracic spine just expand here. Inhale, and on the next exhale, slowly come around to the center as we switch sides, going and straighten out that left leg. Pull your right knee in. Use the right knee as you can get taller and taller as you just pull on it, very gentle, getting as tall as you can. Taking your opposite arm, your left arm around that knee to get taller, and then taking your right hand around to the back of your mat, lifting your eyes up, lifting your heart, and breathing so deep. So the stretch goes beyond spinal rotation. It goes all the way into the lung, the rib cage, and the thoracic spine. On the next breath, slowly come back to the center. As we move into seated butterfly, or some people call it cobra, I think butterfly sounds a little bit prettier. So the soles of the feet come together. If you have lower back pain or any kind of injuries, push your feet away. If you want a little bit more and your body allows you, you can go in and pull your heels in. Grab hold wherever it's comfortable. Maybe it's your knees, maybe it's your shins, your ankles, and grow tall, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears. Once again, I'll continue to remind you to pull your belly into your spine. That activates your core, and when you activate your core, you protect your spine, especially if you have any kind of osteoarthritis or any kind of bone density issues, anything like that. It's important to protect your spine. Continue to grow tall through the crown of the head. Maybe a bit deeper, you can loosen up the lower back by floating your elbows over your knees, hinging forward with a long spine, lifting your heart, lifting your chin. And then we can round the spine. Nod the chin, let the nose fall towards the feet. Gently press the knees towards the earth. Relax the shoulders and breathe 3 breaths here. So as you're pressing your heart or your chest forward, you'll feel an opening up of the lower back. Once again, listen to your body, and if anything doesn't feel right, don't do it. You can modify or just go into another stretch. It's important to listen to your body. Inhale, and on the exhale, go on and roll the spine up. Once again, articulating it, stacking one vertebra on top of the other at a time, lifting the chin last. Let's go on and bring our knees together. We're going to take both feet over to the left and sit tall. And then you're going to take your left hand up and over, and drop it right next to your right hand. Nod your chin and round your spine like that. Seated cat pose. Look at your belly and pull your belly into your spine here. And then as you soften your elbows, you're going to lift your heart and your chest, and you're going to gaze upward. So we're rounding and lifting the spine here. Inhale. On the exhale, nod the chin and round the spine. Shh. Inhale. Soften the elbows, lift the heart, lift your gaze. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Shh. Float that left hand all the way back up and over as you take your right hand up as high as you can reach, and then over for a little more flexibility. Keeping your eyes up in the ceiling, lifting your heart, lifting your gaze. Inhale and exhale, float the hand down. Let's slowly transition to the other side, taking both feet over to your right. Sitting tall, pulling the belly into the spine. Taking the right palm up, lifting up as high as you can, and then rotating to your left as you drop your right hand next to your left. Nod your chin, gaze to your belly, and exhale. Inhale to soften the elbows as you lift your heart, lift your gaze, and fill the lungs up with air. Exhale to nod the chin, round the spine. Inhale and exhale. Inhale. Inhale and exhale, and slowly float it back down. Let's transition to our hands and knees, and then we're going to move into an extended child's pose. So I'm going to grab my block, maybe both of them. So for those of you that a block helps, I can show you how to use it. So you can either put the block between your legs so that your buttock sits onto the block when you go into your child's pose. And then you can take the block right under your forehead and just relax. So you're bringing the floor to you. You can turn the block to bring it a little higher and just breathe. So in child's pose, it's about just total relaxation. Close your eyes and just breathe here. Maybe the block isn't for you. You can always push it away. If you want a little bit more, maybe you take your hands on top of the block to get a little more stretch through the shoulder joints and upper back. Shh. On the next breath, come on back up to hands and knees. And if you have knee injury, you can take another mat and roll it up and put it under your knees. Or maybe it's just one knee. You can curl the toes under of that side of your leg where the knee is hurt, or maybe you have a knee surgery that you're healing from, and just curl the toes under and hover the knee. Otherwise, let's just keep our toes, flat toes down, toenails down as we go into a kneeling cat and cow. Inhale to round the spine like an angry cat. Pull the belly into the spine. Separate your shoulders, make them as wide as you can. Gaze to your belly and just feel the stretch between each vertebra. And then as you soften your elbows, wrists, and shoulders, let your belly fall to the earth. Lift your heart, lift your gaze. Inhale. Exhale into cat. So go slow. Imagine your spine is like a wave and you're just rolling through. Inhaling and exhaling at your own pace. Inhale and exhale. Continue your cat and cow, and know that you can do cat and cow while you're laying in bed. You can do it when you're on your hands and knees. You can do it seated. You can even do cat and cow standing. It is an excellent movement for spine mobility and to release any tension in the spine. Inhale and exhale. Back to hands and knees. I'm going to remove my block. All right, next we're going to go into around the world hip circles on our hands and knees. So these are fun. Be sure your knees are separated. So if your knees are together, you're going to tend to be lopsided. So open those knees up and let your hips kind of swing out to the right, and then over the right heel, over the left heel, to the left, and back up to the hands and knees. Switch directions. Bigger you can circle those hips, the better it will feel on your spine. Inhale and exhale. And let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. All right, next what we're going to do is a plank. So a plank is one of the most important things you can do for an injured back or back pain. And it's very important that you do a plank correctly. So I'm going to show you the best plank for anyone with lower back, herniated disc, any kind of back issues. And the reason it's so good is that your hips can't sag. So your knees are under your hips. Keep them there. Curl your toes under. And then you're just going to lift your knees up. Maybe just for a second. Maybe you come back down. Maybe you can hold it. It's your plank. It's very important that your wrists are under your shoulders, or maybe you have wrist injury and you have to come to your elbows. That's okay as well. So let's hold our plank for 8 count. 7, 6, maybe you drop and come back up. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop your knees, uncurl your toes, go back into that chart. Inhale, and on the exhale, come back to hands and knees. Wrists are under the shoulders. And next what we're going to do is a downward dog. Now, downward dog is not for everyone. Downward dog is not for you if you have glaucoma, high blood pressure, herniated disc that is hurting at this time. Anything that you have going on with your back, you should listen to here. So I'm going to show you a modification. It's called puppy. So you take your hands out. We can all do it. Take your hands out as far as you can reach. And then you're just going to drop your ears between your biceps, pressing the floor away with the heels of your hands and with your knees, and stay there. Otherwise, downward dog, wrists come back under the shoulders. Curl the toes under. You're going to lift your knees and your sits bones. And then you're going to gaze to your knees. So you want the crown of the head facing the earth. You're reaching your sits bones up as high as you can, pressing your chest toward your thighs, pressing the earth away with the heels of your hands and the balls of your feet. And then we can pedal here, dropping your right heel, bending your left knee, and then drop your left heel, bend your right knee. And then maybe you go a little faster. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale. Both heels press down while sits bones press up. Keep your eyes on your knees or your toes. Try not to lift your head up because that's not good for the neck. And then we're going to move into a plank. So you're going to lift your heels up and drop your shoulders over your wrist. Now that might be hard, or if you're sagging, then maybe you just need to drop your knees for a modified plank. So knees can be up or down. If your wrist hurts, you can drop down to your elbows. So it's important to modify where you need to modify. Here is a modified plank, protecting the wrist, the shoulders, and the lower back. Inhale and exhale. Now wherever you are, I want you to drop all the way down to your belly. And then make a pillow for your forehead. One hand on top of the other. Maybe it's more comfortable for you to use a block here for the hands. So here, we're going to do another back stretch. We're going to pull our belly in with a big inhale, almost as though you can pull your belly up off the mat. Inhale, pull the belly up into the spine, feel the spine stretch. Exhale to release. And again, inhale, pull the belly up off of the mat, into the spine, and then exhale to release. Inhale, pull the belly up, into the spine, exhale to release. Now we're going to lift our head like an infant would lift their head in a crib. So just about 2 or 3 inches. Inhale up, exhale, come back down. Inhale to lift, exhale. Inhale to lift, and then bring your elbows under your shoulders. Arms are out in front from there, fingers are wide. This is called Sphinx pose. So, okay, you're just laying here. There's a lot more to it. You're gonna press your elbows into your mat toward your feet as you relax your shoulders and grow through the crown of the head. So you're kind of lengthening through the spine, through the neck. Inhale, exhale to release. Again, inhale, Sphinx pose, eyes are up, exhale to release. And again, inhale, and exhale. Now we're going to take our fingertips underneath our shoulders, squeezing your elbows into your rib cage, right? So your fingertips are in alignment with your shoulders. Elbows squeeze in, and once again, just for protection. And this is called Cobra. So we're going to modify our Cobra pose because in Cobra, the lower disc in your back compress. So that's important to know if you have any back injuries. You would only want to lift about 1 inch or 2. Inhale up and exhale down. Maybe your body allows you to go higher, maybe not. Inhale and exhale. For me, I can go all the way up, but maybe for you, you only go halfway up. Inhale and then exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. On the next one, we're going to stay up and push back into that child's pose. Uncurl the toes and then stretch your arms away from your shoulders. Drop your forehead. Inhaling and exhaling. Inhale, on the exhale, come back to hands and knees. We're going to come up to standing. Now, standing, there are a couple ways you can do it safely. You can go into downward dog. That would be your yoga traditional way. But I'm going to do it in a way assuming you have a back issue. So you can take your strongest knee forward. This is not correct. What's correct is to bring your toes underneath your eyebrows. That is so important so that you have a 90-degree bend. And then you can use that thumb, just a few of them because we're kind of running out of time. Inhale to take the elbows in, and exhale to reach. Now this is kind of a squat. You never want your knees going forward. No, 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 no. Rather you want your hips going to the back, right? So that's very important because we don't want all that weight on our knees. This is about breath. Inhale and exhale. Let's make a couple of sunflowers. They're a little bit more fun. Inhale and exhale. Maybe for you, you have hurt knees and you just don't do that big, deep squat. Or maybe you're someone that likes it. It's your sunflower. Inhale and exhale. One more. Inhale and exhale. Arms out into a T. Good morning stretch. Swing your heels out so your feet are parallel. The wider your feet, the easier this is. It's a stretch. Go on and hinge halfway down so that your nose doesn't drop below your hips. Arms are long, legs are long. Inhale, on the exhale, come all the way back up. We're going to go back into it and add to it into a revolving triangle. Inhale to hinge over. Exhale to drop your left fingertips underneath your chest. Maybe you use the block here. There are many ways to use the block. And then go on and rotate to your right, lifting your right hand and gaze up to the ceiling. Inhale. On the exhale, come back into long arms. As we transition, dropping the right hand to the block or to the floor and floating the left hand and gaze up to the ceiling. Inhale. And exhale, come back into long arms and hinge back up to standing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. We're going to take our heels in, big toes in, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. Now, camel, standing camel is another pose for the back. It's contraindicated to do the full camel if you're over 50. Sometimes I just pretend that I'm under 50 and I do it. But it's your body. You should know whether you can do this or not. But first we'll do the modified version. So take your hands behind the small of your back. And then you want to open up your heart by bringing your elbows towards each other. Just feel the opening up of your heart. Gaze upward. And then as you push your hips forward, gaze downward to your belly or to the floor. So you're kind of arching your back. Inhale and exhale. If you were under 50 or if you're flexible or it's something you've done before, you can go into the full camel, rolling the head back and breathing. On the next breath, come back up to standing. Drop your hands. Do some shoulder rolls. Big, soft, chin lifted, heart lifted, eyes lifted. Inhale. Next, we're going to do pyramids. So we haven't done this a lot with my yoga classes, but you're going to take your left foot and step back. I encourage you to use your block if you want to go past halfway down. But first, we'll just take our hands behind us. If you can't interlock your hands, just put your hands there. And with a long spine growing through the crown of the head, you're going to hinge halfway down. Halfway, and hold it right there. So you're going to feel this in your right hamstring. Maybe you want more, you can take your hands to the block. But it's important that you keep your spine and neck long so you're not rounded. This is called pyramid pose. Inhale, and on the exhale to come out of it, we bend that right knee, roll up to standing. Inhale, step forward and exhale. Let's do the other side. We're going to take your right foot back, only a couple of feet, which actually makes it harder than when we do our warriors, which we'll do on Thursday. Take your hands by your side or interlock them. Maybe you just stay here and lift your hands, or maybe you can hinge a little or a lot. Your legs are long. Your spine is long. You're going through the crown of your head. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe you can take your hands to your block or not. I don't know. It's very important to listen. Maybe you have to bend your knee a little. That's okay too. Inhale. On the exhale, release, step forward, and come back up to standing. Inhale. Exhale, hands over, heart center. We're going to swan dive back down to our mat. So come to the front of your mat. Swan dives are great because this is where the mind, the body, and the spirit all come together in this wonderful energy, if you allow it to. So you're going to use your breath with your movement. So it's like this, soft knees. Inhale to float the hands up, and then your hips go to the back as you swan dive down. Tuck your chin, look at your knees, flip your palms forward, and then from here, we're going to take something up to heaven. Maybe it's the fruit of the spirit, that's your intention. Maybe it's just something that came to your mind. Maybe it's love, maybe it's forgiveness, whatever it is. Take it all the way up and bring it into your heart center from above. Let's just do a couple more swan dives. Inhale, soft knees, exhale. Reverse, inhale. And exhale, hands over heart center. Inhale, let's stay down. Exhale, bring your hands in front of your toes, bend your knees, step back onto your hands and knees. And wiggle your hips side to side. Now, if you have tension in your lower back, I'm going to show you something that will really release it, but it's very small and very slow. Separate your knees and do a little hip circle without dropping your buttocks. So it's not like what we did before around the world. It's just circling your hips as slow and small as you can. And you will feel an immediate release of tension in the lower back. And then switch the direction of your circle. Slow and small. Inhale. Exhale. Come back to the center, and we're going to transition back onto our buttocks so that we can go down to our mat for our final stretches and final savasana. So here, if you need a pillow, you can use a block. You can use another mat. You can roll your mat up. Either way works. But first, let's do a little back stretch. So pull your knees into your chest, Pull your heels as close as you can. Use your hands in front of your knees to grow as tall as you can. Pull your belly into your spine. So this, well, maybe it's not so good feeling, right? It's because the long muscles in your back extensors are tightening up. These are your posture muscles. So we can strengthen and lengthen them by growing through the crown of the head, relaxing the shoulders down away from the ears, and breathing. And then slowly we'll roll back, holding onto our legs, rolling past our tailbone. Let your hands slide up your legs. And then as we lift our feet, we can slowly roll the spine down. Maybe take your hands behind your knees. So it's a little massage on the spine, one vertebra at a time. As you roll, take your knees into your chest. Close your eyes. The lights are bright here. Bear hug your knees and gently rock them side to side. Continue to rock your knees side to side. I'm going to try to turn off some of the lights because I know it is blinding. And are your feet relaxed here? Make sure that they are just dangling down. Your legs are relaxed, everything is relaxed. And begin to circle your knees in the biggest circle that you can. If your hands are on the shins of your legs, it's going to be a pretty small circle. Maybe you bring your fingertips to the tops of your kneecaps so that you can guide your knees in a bigger circle. So the bigger your circle, the slower, the bigger the massage, right? So just relax. Can I show you, or would you rather me not touch? So let go for a second. Just big. Yeah, soft. Doesn't that feel good? So you can put your fingers on top of your kneecaps and slowly circle them and switch directions. This should feel like a massage on the lower back if your feet are relaxed. If your feet are relaxed. So again, if your hands are on your shins, it's a small circle. If your hands are on your knees, it's a much bigger circle. And your feet need to be relaxed. Now we're going to do knee circles away from each other. So pull your knees up, out to the sides, down and back together. Once again, it's just your knees are guiding the circle movement. Pull your belly into your spine to protect your spine. And switch the direction of your circles. Really, this class could go on for another half hour and we still would not have done all that we can do to loosen up the back. So I encourage you to come back on Thursday and we'll do a lot of different things that I can show you to help your back. But for now, we're going to have to go into our final Savasana because we're running out of time. So what I want you to do is take your blocks, and I can come around the room and help you, and put them under your knees. So if you're at home watching this, you can use a blanket, a towel, some pillows. Just put them under your knees and just relax. That's right. Just let the belly fall into the spine and let the spine fall into the mat. And you're in a true Savasana pose here. Maybe take your arms out to the sides with your palms up. Close your eyes and let's just relax. So final Savasana is all about total relaxation. The more that you can relax, the more energy that will flow from your body, the more healing that will take place. Let us just breathe and melt into our mats. And just relax our mind, our body, and our spirit. Relax your toes and the balls of your feet, the arches of your feet, your heels, your calves, behind your knees, behind your thighs, your buttocks, and your lower back, your upper back. Let your shoulder blades melt into the mat. Relax your shoulders and your arms, the insides of your elbows, the insides of your wrist, the palms of your hands. Let your fingers just relax and fall where they may. If your palms are facing upward, as you relax your thumbs, your shoulders will relax a little bit more. Can you relax your hip bones and your pelvis, your belly, your rib cage, your chest, your neck, your scalp, and all the muscles in your face? Relax them. Relax your forehead, your eyebrows, your eyelids, your cheekbones, your nose, your chin, even your ears and your earlobes, your teeth. Unclench your teeth, let them part. Let your tongue fall away from your teeth, relax your lips, and just be. As we go into a breathing exercise to help your spine, to help your back. As you inhale as deep and long as you can in through the nose, imagine the air is coming from your tailbone all the way up your neck. And then as you exhale, you'll imprint your spine on the mat from the top of the neck to the tailbone. Inhale long and deep, belly rising, air is going up the spine. And as you exhale, long exhale through the mouth, imprinting the spine on your mat from the top of your neck all the way down to your tailbone. And again, inhale and exhale. And with your eyes closed, let's open our hearts and let our hearts be filled with love today. Love of yourself, love of others, love of your neighbor, love of the unlovely. Let your hearts be filled with love today. And if you can slowly make your way up to a seated position so we can close our practice today. And again, remember, with a slight bend in the knees, sitting tall. I hope you feel renewed and restored and that you've released any tension in your spine. Let us take our arms out long with our palms up. Inhale to float the hands up, and exhale, hands over heart center, and namaste. On Thursday, we'll probably spend a little more time on our backs on the mat, doing a lot more release of tension in the spine, but we will also take it to another level with the Warrior series. Just wanted to give you a heads up. So thank you for coming today.
Thank you.
Thank you.